There are 3.5 billion women in the world, and just as this video shows, there's plenty of opportunity and risk. This video, made for the 100 Women series last year, goes through some of that good and not so good news. That's actually going to two things. First of all, it's literal. So the daily rate for these miners has been reported to be 40 lira a day, which is somewhere in the region of about 10 to 12 pounds or about $15. So they're not paid very well. And at the same time, it's showing the valuation of Turkish life, that you have over 200 people have lost their life. And this is not the first time tragedy has struck like this in Turkey. An earthquake in 1999 saw 17,000 people lose their lives. And similarly, in 2011, in Van, in the eastern part of Turkey, 600 people lost their lives. And so this is kind of a message of, are these lives not valuable enough for the proper precautions to be taken to prevent these things from happening again? We've got to go back about a decade or so and see why the AKP is so important and why Erdogan is really upset about this. And it's because the AKP is an Islamically based movement. They call themselves conservative, and the Gulen movement has been very important in giving them support. So in the last 3 national elections, the share of the AKP vote has grown, and we saw that in the local elections last month as well. So without the Gulen support, it was a real test for the AKP government to see whether they would keep that power or not keep that power. What we've seen happen since last year is a real rift between the two camps. And the reason that that's begun is because of graft investigations against the Erdogan government ministers, and also involving Erdogan and his son himself. It's not the first time this has happened in Turkey. It happened in 2008, and that ban was lifted in 2010. So it looks like it's round 2 of that. At the very beginning of everything that was going on, there was no organization, there were no groups that were very prominent in this. It's a very, very organic movement which has encompassed a broad range of people from different parts of society. That's why it's very hard to bring 17 people together who supposedly represent the entire dynamics of these tens of thousands of people who are coming out both in Ankara, Istanbul, and in other parts. When we see Turkish trends socially and when they appear on the news, do they really warrant the level of coverage that we see in the news? So there's so much fuss about it. Oh, Turkey blocked Twitter, Turkey blocked YouTube, but does it really matter on the ground? And so I start to ask this question: does social media really matter in Turkey? And to answer that, we need to go back to 2003, which is the May and June Gezi protests that happened in Istanbul. Media, and essentially news, is about people at the end of the day. So it doesn't mean that one is an enemy and the other one is a goodie or a baddie or anything like that. And I guess to close, we have to remember, whether as media consumers or media producers, we have a very unique responsibility, because we are the ones who cause the reactions and we are the ones who cause the implications that come of this. So representation becomes very important.